Almanlar burayı havaya uçurarak içeriye girmişler şuradan. Kısa bir bilgi verdi. Ne zaman yapıldı, nasıl olduğu gibisinden ama ben size burayla alakalı komik bir şey söyleyeyim. Bu kadar tünel yapılmış. Bil bakalım elektrik ihalesini kime vermişler? Fransızlar. Siemens firmasına. Siemens Alman firması. Yani sadece güldüm.
There they go. Any second they should come back on. I prefer to warn people. It's a bit disconcerting that when the lights go out. But, that means our internal power plant is now up and running, and so the fort itself is now being powered by our own power plant. So we start them up on there. You'll see once we get around there. We do that on the weekend during the summer to keep them going, and also to get to experience what they sound like and what they smell like, I suppose, we'll stay. So that'll be in about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so we stop here just to have a look at this big door. It's our anti-blast door. It's made of steel on the outside. It's filled with concrete.
Kapının kalınlığına bakın. Onu anlatıyor şu an.
And this door was here to protect the vast majority of soldiers who were based behind where this door was, to protect them from any big explosion that could take place, in particular in the munition store. Imagine the munition store is full, you have a fire or some sort of incident in there, then you need to be able to protect the people down here from the ensuing explosion. So there would be a soldier positioned here permanently, and he could pull on a lever. So once you get down there, you'll be able to see a lever. I can change my batteries here, but there's a lever which is linked into this rod system. So you can see a rod there, perhaps. That rod goes down to this hook, and this hook then would be holding the door in position. But if the soldier pulled on the lever, that would release this hook, and this door then would slam closed. There's a system of springs behind it. Plus, also here we have a counterweight connected to the door. So release the door in about 5 to 7 seconds. The door slams closed.
5 dakika içinde kapı kapanıyormuş.
People behind it from whatever's going to happen. So this will protect from the blast in case the blast made smoke or
Çelik bir kapı düşüyor. Şunun kalınlığına bak.
Here we have a position where there used to be a gas tight door. You can just about see there where the door used to be. We close that door to stop any smoke or poison stream from getting through.
How did they power it? Since this is in the way now.
Yeah, well, the question was back in the day then. So the cable didn't go through the door, so it was present either side, but there was a connection went round. So, but basically the train, when it went through with the speed that it had, the driver could drop the trolley pole down, got through the door, and then pick the energy line back up once it got to the other side. So it was actually during the Deutsch period that they installed the line through the door for the first time. We kept it.
Trenler diyor kapı kapandığında diyor nasıl hareket ediyor gibisinden bir soru sordu. Yani sonuçta elektrikli çalışıyor.
Mechanism for reopening the door. It would take about 15 minutes to reopen the door. You can also get around the back here. So if you're going through there, you can get around the back and come out to the other side. There's a small tunnel there. Both my sons have managed to do that, so I'd probably get stuck myself, but you can get through there and come out the other side. And the last thing to say about this door, if you look at it, you can see it's sort of bent here down towards the bottom. That's not by design, but that's a result of that big explosion then from November 1944. Remember we talked about it in there. The last act of the Germans, that big explosion made the big explosive shock wave, which bounced down the tunnels, caught this door, slammed it closed. And if you look here, part of the door frame is missing. And that was already the case by November 1944.
çektiğim görüntüde Almanlar atak yaptığında o büyük patlamayla burayı uçurmuş.
They had to get the machinery through this door down through there. That's where the main sort of factory part was. And this door was too narrow to get the machinery through. Okay, so to get the machinery through, they cut away here, widened this door basically in 1943. But that meant that when this door slammed closed in November 44, there was nothing for the lower parts to come into contact with. That explains the shape of the door.
Evet.
Okay, so we're going to continue by heading in this direction. We're going to head towards one of the most strategically important parts of the fort next. I say that because this fort was full of French troops. You probably all know that the French like their food. They like very good food. And so it's really important that down there they have decent kitchen facilities so they could keep the troops down here well fed and well watered. So that's where we're going to head next, just down here towards the kitchens. Follow me please.
Buraya yakınmış mutfak. Şimdi oraya doğru gidiyoruz. Lan herkes burada gocuklu. Bir ben varım. Tişörtle giden. Dövüyen. Yol yapmışlar. Muhtemelen altı kanalizasyon veya başka bir şey var çünkü panel koymuşlar tamir edebilmek için.
Okay, just before we do get to the kitchens, I'll just stop here because I think it's fascinating to look at this hole in the wall that was created during the German occupation. We don't know why they did this, but perhaps out of curiosity, but it does show us actually a bit about the construction or how the fort is constructed. So first of all, we have this plaster layer, so you don't get it everywhere, mainly in sort of living areas. You have an outer plaster layer which covers the main stone walls, which we get throughout the fort. So some of it's hidden, a lot of it isn't. So you can then see the thickness of these walls, and then behind you can see the rock that makes up the Hackenberg hill. So this is the type of rock that they were building the tunnels through back in the day. And what's interesting, if you look at it, I don't know if we have any geologists here today, any rock experts?
No.
Perhaps some rock music experts sometimes. Not many geologists exist these days because they don't come here. But anyway, I'm not a geologist, so I'll try and explain. This rock was set down many millions of years ago, okay? And these white layers that you can see in there, these are a different type of material. So they're a fibrous gypsum material. Basically what it means is that this rock isn't homogeneous, so these tunnels are built through. And these white layers, they're a fibrous anhydrous gypsum material. Basically, if water comes into contact with this anhydrous gypsum, a chemical reaction takes place and it starts to grow in size. Now, as long as this is just one big hill, there's no problem.
Ya blast wall yapmışlar. Onun nasıl yapıldığını anlatıyor.
You get water ingress, and that water starts to react with the anhydrous gypsum. That starts to grow in size, and that growth in size, they started seeing that really well after the Second World War in the houses. So a very modern material. Everything down here operates from electricity. So I think the most practical power source when we're
Kırmızılar masa.
So the meals were prepared.
Yemek içinmiş.
The meals were actually delivered down to the combat blocks where the soldiers were based. So basically they would load the meals up in some of these big cylinders, sort of cylindrical containers, thermally insulated, and they take them down using the internal trains to the combat blocks. So basically the soldiers based here, they would spend their lives.
Dizaynın tam ortasından şu yerden geçirdikleri şey muhtemelen kablo sistemleri de buradan geçiyor.
So in terms of what they would eat, so it was a reasonable, sort of reasonable menu from what we know from the people who did sort of did serve down here, that they ate relatively well, even if the
Antigron kablo kullanmışlar. elektrik kablosu nemli. Sıvıya dayanıklı. Muhtemelen siyahlar kirli su gibi olabilir.
It's tunnel in the big alcove, so they could keep going for around about 2.5 months with the food rations. It's important as well what they drank. So again, they speak France. It's important. They had wine down here, so we had the wine store down here and had half a litre of wine.
İleride şey varmış, şarap yeri varmış. Şaraplarını da orada tutuyorlarmış.
But if however they ran out of wine, out of anything else exciting, what was important as well was, as far as possible, the Maginot Line forts were built with internal water sources. Okay, so in the First World War in Verdun, the forts had to surrender because they're out of water. Here we have two internal water sources, one just around the corner here, 90 metre deep well, and another down the main tunnel.
Su kaynağı varmış bu tünelin içinde. Sularını dipten çıkartıyorlar. Yani sondajla.
You'll see to the left and right as we go down there. You'll see where they would wash the pots and pans, prepare the food, and then we'll head towards the entrance to the power plant. Okay.
Çarpmislarları. Burada da sanırım mutfakvari şeyler var. Hamur falan yapmak için. Galeri diyorlar. Şey gibi, madenciler gibi. Evet. Bisiklet bile var ya, inanılmaz. Elektrik sistemleri burada.
Okay, so here, before we talk about the power plant, just a few words. What we can see here to the left, a big grey door, and that grey door actually leads to the troop entrance, the second entrance to the fort. We came into the munitions entrance. If we go from there, we're about 50 metres up an incline that takes us to the troop entrance. So you can still get out that way if required. You can see the emergency gate, showing us being that way. So there's guys who are trained to take people out that way if required. They're about to do that, but safety first. If we have to, we can go out that way. You will see the troop entrance yourselves at the end of the visit as you drive away from the main car park. After a couple of 100 metres, you'll turn right in front of the concrete blockhouse. That's the troop entrance. Here then, I'm just standing on, here there's like a seating area and tables. It's actually a bar area, so just through there is where they have the beer taps, so that's where they can go and sit and have a drink when they were off duty. But yeah, the main thing that we talk about here though, is what we can hear behind those doors there, which is the power.
İşaretlemeleri neye göre
And
yaptılar
back in the
acaba?
day, as is the case these days, in normal times the fort was powered from the external electricity network, so there were two cables very deep underground that went next to the fort, just close to where we are now. Through there you have all the big transformers, electricity distribution board and everything, so for sending the power around the fort. We also have rectifier stations, so we can turn the AC electricity to DC electricity for the train, for the gun turrets, etc. But in case the power was to be cut off, so
Tünelin elektriği için hem AC dediğimiz şehir şebekesi, DC dediğimiz DC akım, doğru akım üreticileri var içeride. Jeneratörler üretiyorlar. DC'yi ne de kullandıklarını çok merak ettim. Yani normalde AC ile şey yapabilirler ama herhalde bütün elektronik ekipmanları DC ile yönetildiğinden dolayı DC'ye bu kadar çok ihtiyaç duymuşlar. Yani çevirici dediğimiz konvertörlerle çok basit bir şekilde elektriği çevirme şansınız var.
They were able to take equipment away. These motors disappeared during that period. They were taken over to the west wall so that the defensive line that the Germans built once they invaded France, and they were building down the Atlantic wall. They were building big submarine bases, for example, in Brest, in Bordeaux, and that's where these motors went to. So what's perhaps surprising is that they came back. How did they end up coming back? Well, the story of the Hackenberg didn't end in 1944. If it did, we wouldn't be here today. Okay, so from a military point of view, the fort was actually kept open by the French army until 1970. So repairs were made after the Second World War. Money was spent reinstalling these diesel motors. Some of the combat wings were, combat logs were repaired, but a massive amount of money was spent after that. You can imagine, you know, as time went on, the threat turned from being sort of, I suppose, a land threat to more of a nuclear threat during the late 50s and whatever. So as I said, the fort was finally closed in 1970, 1968. The NATO money sort of dried up, and then the goal took France out of NATO high command, and so in 1970 the fort itself closed. After the war, there were troops based here. Okay, it was only ever sort of maintenance staff, technical staff who were here keeping the place open and into being so that the fort could be used effectively. So closed in 1970. There was a local schoolmaster from the village of Vecna, who's the guy who had the idea to reopen this place as a museum. When he first started going to talk to the French military about it,
çıkışını görüyorum. Bayağı soğuk burası. Kesinlikle gelirken büyük bir şeyler alın. Kalın battaniye ne varsa. Ben kısa kolluyla yakalandım. Ama iyi gibi duruyor da inşallah çıkış kötü olmaz.
We don't do too badly, and next year we'll celebrate the 50th anniversary of our association. So it's been quite a successful past 50 years, I'd say. Anyway, so we're going to head through there so you can experience, as I say, the sights, the sounds, and the smells of the Hackenberg fort. So all the 4 diesel generators in operational condition. So on the weekend during the summer month we start them up, so it keeps them in operational condition, and it's also gives you
jeneratörleri operasyonel tuttuklarını söyledi.
Let's head through there. It is quite loud in there. If you need to cover your ears, please do. But if you need to walk through, if it's too loud, not a problem. I'll walk through it. You follow me.
Evet, jeneratörlerin olduğu yere giriyoruz. Dizel koktu. Burası dizel jeneratörleri. Hala eski sistemle yürütüyorlar. İnanılmaz ya. Transformatör. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Eski teknolojinin gözüne vurmuşlar. Regresör. Şey var, yakın tanklarının olduğu yer var. Güzel. Şu an tam sesini alamıyorum abi. Oho. Kaç tonluk? 54 bin litre gördüm. Acaba kaç tane var böyle? Yani çok uzun bir süre hayata tutmak için şey yapmışlar. Torna odası. başka var. Burada da 20 ton artı 20 ton yazmış. Wow. İnanılmaz. Şimdi elektrik sistemini gördük.
The question about the fumes from those diesel motors. So they went away. There was some like the stainless steel tubes. They were taken out through the tube entrance. Remember before we went in, just at the level of the tunnel taken out to the tube entrance, all the fumes went out through big tubes. There's a chimney out to the tube entrance. You'll see that as well. The tube, the tube entrance, a little chimney. That was the. Okay, so we've spoken already about what the people down here drank, what they would eat. What's also important for us all down here is to have nice clean air. These days it's just basically the natural currents of air flowing through the tunnels.
İnsanlar için havanın şeyini söylüyor. Yani burada hava nasıl temizleniyor onu anlatmaya çalışıyor şu an. Bu gördüğümüz muhtemelen hava filtreleri. Evet, aynen hava sistemi. Ventilation system.
But in case outside the air became polluted, so that because there was smoke outside because fighting was taking place. You can even imagine if enemy troops arrived, they could try to gas us. So how do you protect yourselves from any sort of issues with the air outside? Well, what you do is install big banks of air filters. And these would only be used if required. So if the air outside was clean, there's no point filtering the air. But if you're on high alert, the enemy in the area, you may be starting to fire, then you can start to put the air, pass the air through these filters. Each of these red cylinders.
Bu sistem sürekli kullanılmış. Yani dışarıda eğer savaş varsa diyor, hava temizleme sistemi devreye giriyor diyor. Ama diyor savaş yoksa diyor, dışarıdan hava alıyorlarmış. Temiz hava.
The installation here is complete. So normally this sort of entrance orifice here will be connected to the outside. Okay, so these are attached to the regions from
Şu sağdaki boru dışarıdaki hava sistemine bağlıymış. Ağzı açık olan.
connected to a tube bringing air from the outside.